not all advice is bad. It's just that it's not for you. Your circumstances and your limitations do not define you. Let's say that you work at McDonald's. So in your current circumstances, you have to work 9 to 5 to make X amount of money. Currently you work there, but at some point you'll be working somewhere else. But you have to find a way of getting there. The same way that your limitations, you're limited to your time due to the fact that you have to be at this job for X amount of time. That also limits you on the amount of time that you're able to spend on your creativity. So your circumstances and the limitations that you currently have in your life are not always going to be that case. Think about it when you're young. When you're young, you have so much time, you have so much energy to do whatever it is that you want to do, but you're limited on money. And then it's the same thing that happens to once you get older. It's like, okay, now you don't have that much time and you do have money, but like you don't have the energy. Those are all current circumstances and limitations. At some point, all of the effort and energy that you put into your life right now will pay out at the end. It's a misconception that your circumstances and limitations are going to define who you are. You just need to understand that your circumstances in your life is not always going to be that situation. If you have a plan, you can work through it. You can figure out, okay, if I make this amount of money, then I'll be able to afford to spend this amount of time on my other creative outlet. However, if you don't have a plan, how are you ever going to see your way of progressing to get there? And even if you feel as if it's too much, the moment that you lay it out for yourself to see, you'll say, I can or I can't. In a lot of my videos, I have mentioned that you can be the problem. A lot of you are the reasons for you not actually succeeding. It's not that people want to see you do bad. It's not that, oh, you're not getting the opportunities that you want. You have to put in the work and energy in order for somebody to even see that you're worth the time. If you can't even stay true to your own self, why should other people stay true to you? And this moves me on to acknowledging your challenges. Acknowledge the challenges that you have. Like I said, if you are working the X amount of hours to make X amount of dollars, acknowledge that, hey, I'm limited to this amount of time. At somewhere in that routine, you have to shower, you have to eat, you have to have some sort of self-care. If you're just pouring yourself into other people, it is so easy to feel so low. And it's like, what do you give yourself? So acknowledge the challenges that are going on in your life that do get in the way. But then once you write down those challenges, figure out ways to solve them. Every video that I would watch and they would say these things to me, I'd just be like, okay, whatever. But it's like, no, if you can't figure out your own problems, why do you think somebody else needs to figure it out for you? You have to understand that people are not the ones that need to do the work. It's you. Do your shadow work. Understand that if you can figure out patterns and triggers of things that come up in your life a lot, then it'll be something that you can put to ease so that it no longer gives you anxiety. Every challenge that you go through is a lesson to be learned. Whether you learn that day, that next day, next year, whatever it is, you'll learn. The things that I'm doing now, I never thought I could do. It was just like, I kept them in my subconscious and it's something that I always was still drawn to. I've always been infatuated with homes. And I've always been infatuated with just speaking and helping others and giving advice. So to think that I couldn't do those things, that was a challenge. And honestly, I'm not saying that I wasn't able to do those things, but it was way more difficult for me to pursue the things that I'm pursuing now at that time. I didn't have the time. I didn't have the resources. It would have been so much more work for me to have done it then than it is now, where it's like, would it have been useful still? Yeah. But I think that I need it now more than I did then. And there was so much more for me to learn and go through where I'm like, no, I'm thankful. Like, there are times that I wish that, why didn't I start this when I was 12? And it's like, because you thought that it was embarrassing, low-key. And it's like, now that I don't feel that way and I'm no longer attached to that, it's like, okay, that's a challenge I just got over. You see how powerful that is? And that's how you empower yourself to chase your dreams. When you recognize that I have this challenge and I'm in this circumstance, but It is something that I will get through because I have a plan and I have a way. No one has ever done anything or achieved anything great by just waking up and saying, oh, I'm going to just start telling people I'm going to do this, and this with no way of doing it. I always think about how people will say, wow, that would be a great invention. And it's like, think about it. If you had the time, the resources, the knowledge to create this invention, you would be so successful. Because there are so many people that have thought about what it is that you want to do, but there aren't enough people that are doing it. Use that as a transformation to getting where you want to be. My dreams would have never been able to manifest to the magnitude that it's at right now if I had not gone through everything. I've gone through so much in my life, and genuinely, there were times that I never thought that I would be where I am right now. You don't know what anyone else has gone through. So the idea that you think that you might want to just have someone else's life and think that that would solve everything, they have their own problems to work through and they solve them. And some of them still might not even be solved. It's just that on the outside, oh, well, this person's successful. They have the house, they have the car, their life must be great. That doesn't mean anything. People still have their traumas, they still have their anxiety, their depressions, all of that. It's not changed just because, wow, look at me. I managed to make $1 million and now I feel satisfied. You're still gonna feel empty because guess what? There's gonna be something else that you want after that. Chase your dreams and don't think for once that the challenges that you're going through are not going to lead you to a lesson and are not going to lead you closer to your dreams. Every single time that I have ever failed, it has brought me closer to my dreams. So fail. Embellish in the fact that, hey, I just failed. Just because of you're not great doesn't mean you won't ever be. So don't stop chasing your dreams just because of, oh, there's a little bump in the road. I guess I'll turn around. No, keep going, keep driving, and you'll get there. So if there's anything that you can take away from this is those little challenges and your circumstances, they're nothing. They are nothing compared to what it is that you will be. But you have to believe it over anyone else. It's not up to everyone to believe in you. Thank you. Bye.